Today's car was not inspired by a fighter plane, it was inspired by nature, but there is nothing natural about it. I'm Dario Franchitti. This is Real Cars, and that is a Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4. In some ways, this was the next chapter for Lamborghini because before that, all the V12 engines could trace their architecture back to the 1960s. It was always just a small evolution. This is a completely new engine. It's a big car, 650 horsepower though to power it along, but it drives as a much smaller car. Lamborghini really starting to understand the clever technologies of the 21st century to get that feeling out of the car. One of the themes that run through Lamborghini's designs is the continuous use of the same sort of shapes. You see this hexagonal fuel filler cap. I mean, only Lamborghini would think to do that. One other thing I noticed about this car, I feel a little strange saying this because there is a vent here that you could lose a small or possibly a large dog in, but at this point, it's not massive. You've got a lot of vents. You know, normally Lamborghinis have much more ventilation than that, which they've done another great job with the cooling system on this car because that V12 engine requires a massive amount of cooling. But for aerodynamics, you want to have less cooling vents. So there's a constant fight between the engine builders and the aerodynamicists. It kind of looks like the aerodynamicists won on this one. So as we've mentioned before, the Aventador has four-wheel drive. That makes it more accessible, or it certainly makes its performance more accessible for more owners. But what it does do as well, it allows you greater traction out of hairpins. Normally when you have a car with four-wheel drive, it starts to lose a bit of steering feel. Lamborghini have done a phenomenal job though in keeping that steering feel so you know exactly as you turn into a corner what is going on with the front tyres and where the grip is. Really a feat of engineering. Now, if the worst were to happen and you're to crash this car, Lamborghini would send a flying doctor to come along and examine the tub of the car, the survival cell that you sit in, and they can then take the part that's damaged out of the car, fix it, and you get back on your way. It's not the work of a moment, but it's going to save you having to buy a new car. Luckily for you, in the game, you're not going to have to worry about that. Just keep up your regular servicing and you'll be okay. This is, I guess it's a more of a common garden everyday V12, if you could say that. It's not one of the special limited production cars, but it is a fabulous, fabulous next chapter for Lamborghini. A lot of fun to drive. Yeah, what's not to love? This is a car that will push you to the limits of your abilities. It is a must-have for your Lamborghini collection. So check it out in-game, and I'll see you at the track.